time immemorial, and four great runners of all stripes, Great Antibob, P-Train, Top Specialist, and Smirk JD. I am Drosy, and as we start off, and Uncle has a long, full life ahead, I am joined for his first ever time on comms by my good friend Specky Specs.
Hey, Drosy. You guys just call me Specs. Looking forward to doing this.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to doing this with you. And we get a map check from a couple of the runners. I saw a regular crystal at Desert. I saw pendants at Eastern and Hera, but didn't catch if either were green. Looks like our tracker's saying Hera has the green pendant. Shoutouts, of course, to Nira and Kif, our trackers tonight, as Uncle gives us the bow to start.
That's a pretty good starting weapon. I like the one quite a bit, because if you want to go to Eastern is a pendant, so you won't be that tempted to beat it. But at least you could beat it if the third item in the dungeons on that. If you want to go there before potentially doing Aga for Dark World access, it's an option. I suppose one of the better items to get here in Standard.
It also comes with 30 free arrows.
That too. 30 free arrows is pretty good. Like bow and sword might arguably two of like the best starting items, because with bow you get all those arrows. You don't really have to worry about like limiting how much you use as you like farm enemy drops for bombs at the beginning. So it's a pretty good option alongside sword if you want to farm enemies.
Yeah.
It's also just a good progression item, which is nice to have.
And you do want bombs for the back of escape when the time comes.
Yep. In fact, have you seen what the price drop is? I'm not sure what it is yet. Ugh. Mushroom.
Yeah, that's no fun to turn in without the bow. Without the flute, sorry. We have the bow. I don't know why I said bow. But in the recently concluded ALTTPR League finals, there were a couple of races that swung on the mushroom turn-in, so you never know what could be behind it.
Yeah, mushroom is one of those things where, like, sometimes you want to delay it, because early on it can be such, if you don't have flute, or if you, it's hard to go, or if you want to save it for when you go over to Catfish and, like, mirror to go do it, mirror to potion shop while walking to Catfish. But early game, it could have something like your boots, which was something that came up in some of the recent league matches. It could have a glove, some progression items. So it's something that you often don't want to delay when you get it so early on in the seed. But it's tempting to not do it and save a lot of routing time.
And I believe we saw the guards with the prize pack that begins with 10 arrows. Yeah, it's dropping a lot of arrows. I don't believe that prize pack has bombs in it, so we'll have to see if the rats are in a prize pack with bombs. Also, we haven't gotten the small key left yet, so we know that Darkross will have the small key, so no chance of getting bombs out of a treasure chest before we hit Backup Escape.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for the bomb drops, 3 out of the 7 prize packs could potentially give you bombs, although 2 of those prize packs are much better than that third one. So yeah, we'll see what the rats drop today.
Right, it could be the variety pack where you have to go 6 deep before you get a bomb.
Yeah, and it's a single bomb. And then there's the variety pack where you have to go 5 deep, but you get 8 bombs. So it's not, and there's there's more good stuff on the way to that bomb pack and that price pack.
Yeah, what do we call that? Like the power variety pack?
Yeah, because it has like a heart, fairy, 20 rupees, and a full magic, which is pretty nice before you get the bombs. That's a pretty good one. And then there's a prize pack that's literally all bombs, and it's a 100% drop rate chance. So we'll see what the, which honestly, that's usually the best one, the one that has a 100% drop rate. If you kill an enemy, you're guaranteed bombs. That one's usually the best for Standard to have on the rats.
Yeah, but we shall see here. P-Train is in first. Didn't try any rats in the first room. Let's see if Smirk does.
I personally wait until after I kill the mouse. The rat has the key. Although I guess the con about that is that you can't kill as many rats, and if you have to go deep into the price pool, you might miss out. Well, yeah, with Bo, it's not a bad idea. Probably do more rat kills here early on. So I think P-Train's doing this the right way.
Yeah, now he's going after them, but they're kind of out of... Ooh, the prize pack beginning with a fairy. That's the... Yep, there we go.
That was what we were talking about. Yeah, that's the power pack. 5th drop is 8 bombs. And you got full magic, too. That's great.
Yeah, nice that they just kept doing drop after drop. And in Escape, the drops are seeded so that no player can get lucky or unlucky in terms of bombs. If you kill the same enemies, you get the same drops.
Nothing too great there.
More bombs.
Yeah, more bombs. But they only had the 8-pack. It wasn't too big a deal. I think they got the boomerang there, didn't they? Which is nice to have, but not progression.
French vanilla.
Yeah, French vanilla to get it in Escape. That's true. So
and Sank will have an item too because we've already seen the map.
Good point.
Actually, the thing about the boomerang is we can check the stun prize. That could always be something good.
I always forget about the stun prize.
Was that a vanilla Sank heart? It looked like a vanilla Sank heart the way it kind of double refilled P-Train's heart, sort of. We'll see when one of these other runners who's not at full health gets it.
Yeah, we can check here on Smoke JD. Yeah, you're right.
That was a very much vanilla Sank heart.
Also, Smoke JD is going to go here for the alternate choice, so you probably do South Shore first. That or going towards Eastern. Probably South Shore. Most people will do CAC after the standard, Escape. Because CAC is right there and it's convenient. Okay, they're going to go towards Chahashula's and potentially Eastern.
Yeah, or I wonder if he's even just going to do the mushroom turn in and really gamble on... No,
I doubt that, but it's possible.
Not gambling quite that much.
Usually, if you see people go for that, most people you'll see will do the fake flippers by going south to Link's house. Not everyone. That's how I normally put the mushroom in early on.
Oh, and meanwhile, speaking of mushroom, the mushroom spot had our boots. And P-Train is the only one who made a beeline for it.
Nice. Wow. That's surprising. Okay, Top Specialist is actually going the way you mentioned, Drossi. He's turning in the mushroom. And
Safa's Closet had gloves, so that'll be a nice early win for Smirk. Let's see if he goes to Sank now, because, he's going to Link's house.
Oh, and Satcher? Yeah. I want to see if they can get anything before going back to CAC. Maybe get hammer powder, or a bottle, or a flute, something that you can then, use in Kakariko and save some routing time.
Wow, this seed is quite something. The mushroom gave us a sword.
That's really good.
Boots were sitting in the mushroom spot. A glove was sitting in Saha's house.
Some decent items so far. Yeah, if you got a sword, bow, and gloves, not bad. Considering we haven't gotten too many checks in yet. They're pretty good, actually.
Yeah, so all things considered, I hope all the runners turn in that mushroom because it was so early, especially once they get boots, which our top runners have. It's a bit easier to get over there when you can run.
Yeah, you hope so. You hope people turn that in.
Boy! There's the other glove in the well, along with the bottle, so we can check Sick Kit.
So maybe a Titan Mitts Dark World X is here? We'll see. Maybe. Still have to find Moon Pearl. And it's possible if a Moon Pearl shows up, we could also just get, Lamp, another sword, or cape, and then we do an Aga. Well, we don't know yet.
I imagine most of these runners would just kern jump if it came to it.
Well, I'm saying if Moon Pearl was, on Pyramid.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing that could really hard force an Aga seed at this point.
Yeah.
Wow, Mini Moldorm Cave is Cane Cave today, as we got both canes in there. And Chicken Hut had the book, and, well, okay, all these fetch quests are just paying off like crazy today.
Dang.
Sick Kid, gives us that little orb he was playing with.
So we have Dark World access now. Once everyone gets both of those gloves, and Chaos Mario is also super nice to have early. That's one of those items you can end up hunting for sometimes as your Go Mode item, so it's really nice to get that one early. Gives you a lot more chooks you can do, speeds up Ice Palace, makes Mario and Turtle Rock options you can go into much sooner with confidence.
And Burnham makes stuff like blind a bit more palatable if you have to do a low percent blind.
Absolutely. Or if you take some damage during the dungeon, then you can still get through blind at the end, or you mess up the blind script. It's a good backup way to finish it up. Super nice.
And now the question is, who will be the first of these runners to put together their Dark World access? Probably Smirk, since he's now going to do the cat play.
Yeah. I would think so. Yeah, because one glove was in Trashula's. Where was the other glove again?
Cackwell.
Right. Yeah, Cackwell. Yeah. So Cackwell and Trashula. So they'll definitely both get the gloves. And where was the bottle at? That's
also Cackwell.
Okay, then yeah, everyone should be getting the Pearl and Titan Mitts easily enough then.
And I like P-Train's routing here. He fake flippered to the Whirlpool. Oh, I thought maybe he'd go down to Saha's closet from getting his sword at the potion shop, but unfortunately no.
Is that faster than saving and quitting to Link's house? And going over there afterwards?
Just given the save and quit time, I think it is faster just to run there, but he wants to do his South Shore stuff, and that's fair. It's more checks.
Yeah, and the reason to push Rashula might be that he thinks he might have to dive Eastern for maybe that Dark World access because he doesn't know what that glove is, so maybe he wants to do South Shore first, and then see if an Eastern dive might be necessary after Rashula so that he can combine that routing.
Yeah, though the glove does give us mountain access out of logic, though we can't do much there.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't want to do it here yet, without like a hook shot or mirror to follow it up. So I don't see most people going for that. Yeah, I expect we'll see everyone have Titan Mitts Moon Pearl soon enough, and then some early Dark World dives. Which, that's actually kind of always a scary opening to see, is because you have so many options. I mean, at least with Titan Mitts, it kind of forces you to go to a Village of Outcasts. It's not as bad as like Glove Hammer, where you can choose multiple spots to go.
Glove Hammer is almost easier, though, because you can do it multiple ways. Like, if you're forced to the CAC portal, then you have to think, okay, do I go over the top? Do I go around the bottom? If I wind up in East Dark World, my only access is going all the way back to CAC portal.
Yeah. It's just that sometimes I think in Rando, it's nicer to only have like a couple options in front of you and not feel like you and your opponents have like a bunch of options, because then it can get harder later on to know like where your opponents are at, what different decisions they made than you, and it can be harder to know like how to like play, against what you think your opponents are doing when there's so many more options on the table. So Titan Mitts, Moon Pearl, I think that kind of limits those options because you're probably going to go Village of Outcasts. And so you can more clearly guess what your opponents are doing. I mean, of course, you don't really... You can make guesses, do they do Skull Woods or not? Do they go straight into Thieves and do it without a hammer? That kind of thing. But it's a smaller window than possibly going, straight for Pod or straight for Hype Cave or Village of Outcasts.
And there is also the question, like, how hard do you want to look for Hammer? P-Train, flush with cash, is doing all of the flipper checks.
Yeah, he's got good cash on him. Where did he get all... He didn't do a hula hand or anything. No,
No, there were a couple of 300s in chests that we saw.
Yeah, on the South Shore, yeah. So that works out pretty nicely. It's usually a pretty rare that you actually have to hula hand to get money early on. It's worth it. I mean, sometimes you don't want to, but a lot of times you get that money if you just do all the checks. Not always, but oftentimes. So that's nice to see. So P-Train went for the water walk up to Hobo, then the slow fake flipper back down.
Yeah, always a tough decision there. Because then you can't get the water walk back. And P-Train has not checked Lake Hylia Island.
I believe, though, can't you just fake flipper to Hobo and then walk off the south of Hobo and do a water walk after Hobo?
You could, yes.
That's the other option you can do. I don't know which one would actually be better here. It might be about even. Which one you
Meanwhile,
do.
Top Specialist is the first to show us Aegina's cave. Which is garbage. And he didn't check Desert Ledge. He has the book! Like, you got an early book, you went to Aegina and didn't dip Desert? Okay.
That's odd. Yeah, if you're going all the way down there, you check more than that. Absolutely. I agree. That's odd. Yeah.
It's 500 rupees getting us love lessons.
Okay, heart piece. Okay. Zero skippable.
Yeah, that was just all junk off the Flipper's checks.
Yeah, unfortunate, but at least now you don't have to worry about, routing them in later, and it's not a worry, even though it does take time.
And Smirk is our first runner in the Dark World, gives us a map check. TR, our final pendant, 5-6 crystals at Swamp and Ice. So we're definitely gonna need those flippers.
So Ice Rod is most likely not required unless we have a pet seed here, or an item on Trinex. So probably no Ice Rod required. The seed. Which is nice. That's usually one of the items that you don't want to have to go on a hunt for at the end of the race.
Yeah, we still need everything for our Swamp Care package, though. Flippers, hook shot, hammer, and mirror.
Yeah, we're still missing, like, you can almost see the majority of the items, or like half of them.
Speaking of required items, you were saying about whether runners do or don't do Skull Woods. Smirk went straight in there and immediately found the flute in map chest.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Skullwoods is always such a gamble. I feel like a lot of people say, like, don't skip it. Like Duncan says, don't skip Skullwoods. But sometimes you do. It's always a tough call because it can be a huge time waster. But sometimes Skullwoods has like the answer that you need, and if you don't go to it, it might become your last location, and it might. And being that you have time limits too with that flute, that can lead over into Mire area, to Mire Shed. Potentially even into Mire itself at this point with the medallion. So.
Yeah, I guess Smirk wants to find out really early whether he has Mire access. I mean, we could not full clear. We can't do the left side without a fire source. We could beat Vitreous if you really want.
Yeah, go do it in the dark.
Okay, Vanilla Piece of Heart on Desert Ledge.
Okay. So Smoke JD's gonna wait on Desert. I think that makes sense. Do Mire Shed really quick, find out the Mire medallion.
I'm also a little surprised no one's wanted to follow that book yet.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I feel like most of the time when I get that book early on and I follow it to Desert, it usually doesn't give me anything if there's nothing on the ledge, and I usually waste my time. Of course, that's not always the case.
Chat reminding us,
feel that way.
Smirk is the only runner who didn't pick up that sword at Mushroom Turn-In, so he's the only runner who, Mire isn't even an option. I saw that he did a very quick check of the medallion. I did not see what the medallion was, so if anyone saw what it was, please let us know in chat. Quake, so we can't get in anyway.
Yeah, it's Quake. Okay, great anti-bob trying to go for the splash delete here. What was on Zoro's ledge? I don't know. Because I don't think P-Train skipped this.
Cape. I guess P-Train figured he didn't want to bother until he checked Bumper Ledge because he already has Burna for invincibility, so...
And Spike Cave and anything else, yeah. So Bumper Cave's not required. I can totally understand just skipping it. Yeah, save some time.
And even if Flippers and Hammer are both right side, East Dark World, P-Train will just Kern jump, so we wouldn't need the cape to do Aga.
Yeah, totally right.
And given our 5-6 crystals, we know that we'll have East Dark World logical access without going to Pyramid.
Yep, okay, it was Cape. Okay. So is Peachy, I think Peachy's gonna go ahead and do all of these here without the hammer. And just go ahead
Yeah,
and risk it.
we already got 2 items in the front and we didn't get a small key, so it's now 50-50 that the small key is locking itself.
Yeah, I think this is pretty reasonable. I think I normally do this quite a bit. The scariest is if you get the small key in the front and you only got like one item. But this is pretty reasonable.
Our tracker Nira is saying that there were 3 items in the front. I missed the third.
Oh, then yeah, you're most likely completely safe then. You're really, yeah, then it's a pretty safe play to do.
Yeah, because you need the 50-50 for the small key not to be locking itself, and then you'd need the 1 in 3 on the remainder that the one remaining item is in the big chest.
Yes, it's pretty safe to do, and it's definitely a good idea to just go and knock out thieves now oftentimes, because routing it back in later is a huge pain. So it's nice to just get it done. Odds are, even if the one item was locked in that chest, which is pretty low odds, as Drosy just said, you're probably fine. It's usually a risk you can get away with.
Meanwhile, Great Auntie Bob is the first of our runners to actually follow that book into desert, but the first item was just bombs.
And the lights are so they won't be able to do the back at the moment, but yeah, they can do this whole front. Potentially get one more item. We'll find out if the items on the boss are in the front area.
Yeah, the big chest had to be a small key. Because we didn't have any other place to put the small key. It has to be on either the torch or in the map chest or in the big chest.
Hey, if this isn't small key, then P-Train's good. There you go. Shovel. Beautiful.
Well, our fetch quests have been paying off today, right? Sick Kid had the Moon Pearl, Magic Shop had a sword.
Yeah, we'll see how soon P-Train checks. Like, he has a lot of things to check right now. Like, he's got Skull Woods, all the rest of, like, he's got, Hype Cave, Digging Game, Stumpy, the rest of Village of Outcasts. No mirror, though, to make that shovel check convenient right now on his routing. I think that'd be a check that gets put off for a while.
What did Great Auntie Bob get in the big key chest in desert? I was looking at the shovel.
I was doing the same thing.
Oh, no, the compass was in the compass chest. It was the chest after that. Oh, map was in the other. Okay, so Landmo has the second item, so book doesn't get us anything for the moment.
That's usually what happens early on with book and Light World for Desert Access. It almost always goes that way if something isn't on the ledge.
And P-Train, meanwhile, has gotten our first crystal of the game just before the 23-minute mark.
Not bad.
Looks like Smirk's gonna go to desert and be disappointed. Great Auntie Bob's gonna do the boots checks and be disappointed.
Yeah, they didn't pay off at all, fortunately.
P-Train unfortunately doesn't have a mirror to route in shovel with these checks in South Dark World.
And K45 also isolated right now, unless mirror is right here. Or on Stumpy.
That is a very lame dig game prize.
Yeah, very disappointing. Is he gonna grab the Smith here?
Yeah, Jeremiah's World Tour coming up. Coming soon to a travel center near you.
Okay. So it's probably route to Hype Cave and then save and quit and then probably go Tornado into Smith, most likely. More money, okay. Lots of money in this seed.
That's for sure. Okay, so all we can really do around here is Hype Cave.
Yeah, just Hype Cave. Yeah, that's it. No hammer.
Maybe Hype Cave will finally be hype.
We haven't had a progression item in a little bit, so maybe? And we have no way to get know what that flute gives mountain access. So with that flute... Ooh, a sword?
Yeah, means we can pull medallions, but we don't have a way to get to either medallion now. Really, the mirror would get us access to both medallions.
Oh, what do you mean both medallions?
Sorry, both tablets.
Okay, okay. I was
Sorry.
confused what you meant. No, that makes sense.
Sorry,
Yes.
because the tablets give medallions in vanilla. Ooh,
I
Top
do the same thing
Specialist
all the time.
taking a death, but he doesn't have a fairy.
Ooh, where was that death at? Was that in Thieves? Where was he at?
Yeah, it was in Thieves. And what was that?
How far down? Was he in the front of it or the back of it?
He was heading to the back.
Okay, but he was still in the front at the time.
He hadn't yet gone upstairs to the attic. He was trying to go upstairs to the attic.
Okay, so a bit of a... okay, not the worst time to die, but still unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, I never even thought to grab that heart there. Okay, good to know. Okay, is the smith worth it? Was all that adventuring worth it? After this, I mean... let's see, Peaching hasn't gone to desert. He hasn't checked his shovel. Those hook shots!
Okay, now the mountain is worth it. We know the mountain's in logic because of the flute.
Yeah, Peaching's probably just gonna go up there anyway, and despite the logic, why wouldn't you? With Titans and Hookshot, and not really any other great options that have a whole lot, you definitely just go up mountain here out of logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I personally never grab Smith in that situation what P-Train did if I don't have Mirror, so I would have gotten destroyed this seed. So maybe I'll start grabbing that Smith.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. As long as you're not planning to go to Pod or beat a Crystal Dungeon, you can keep the Smith with you indefinitely and then just turn him in when you get a chance.
Yeah, I think it made sense here because he didn't have Hammer. There wasn't anywhere to go after Hype Cave with what he had at the moment. So it actually made a lot of sense to do that, and he knew that, like, if I don't get any more progression by the time I finish Hype Cave, I'm not going to have a lot of other options. So adding the Smith check-in made a lot of sense in this particular seed.
I mean, given the lack of options, he's got to know that Skull Woods has logical progression, because I don't think he has anything else in logic.
Shovel. And then he hasn't been to desert.
No, he checked the shovel. The shovel was $50.
He did?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And Smirk, meanwhile, breaking logic to go to East Dark World, does a very nice current jump there.
He check it before the Smith, then?
Yeah, he checked it before turning in the Smith.
Oh, he went the south way. I got it. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, he saved and quit to Link's house and went via Shovel Spot to turn in Smith.
That's smart. I totally missed that. Oh, he messed up the spin speed there and fell off. That hurts.
Nice ladder climb, though.
Yeah, great ladder climb. Great ladder.
And we're getting a catfish check from Smirk. Of course, this is
of course, catfish.
Out of logic. While our left two runners are both in Thieves.
Yeah. I guess probably now they're gonna go do Pyramid and Pod out of logic. If you're in this area, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you've gone to the trouble of kern jumping.
Did they do the corn jump or was splash delete to get over? Because I personally would have done a splash delete in the situation to make it a little easier. Because with the bow and bombs, you can do pretty easy splash delete instead of a corn jump if you want. Probably did a corn jump.
Yeah, he did a kern jump.
Okay.
There's our other boomerang in Paradox Cave. We do have the myth, so we can do the Dark Mountain as well. We still can't get to Hera area.
No.
Can't check Ether Tablet.
But yeah, being able to do all Paradox Spiral, Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny. Ooh, silvers. And see with the TR. Actually, you can even enter TR for one check if the medallion lines up, if you wanted. I don't know if...
Well, I mean, we could go down the rabbit hole if that first check is a small key.
True, there's always the rabbit hole that could happen. I guess Petrie might be more tempted to do that if Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny don't turn up much progression. Otherwise, because he's definitely hitting the limit on progression right now. So you'd have to think Dark World here is going to give something, most likely. Dark Mountain, I should say, or Spiral.
Okay, top specialist going straight to Middle Skull Woods. We have not seen this check yet. Probably a small key.
Yep. Oh, he's going ahead and grabbing the other key. Interesting.
A little bit of an odd choice. What are you going to do with 2 small keys?
Yeah, you don't need that other key until you go to until you go to Mothula. So that's kind of I would say a bit of a time waste through that situation. Would have been faster just to go ahead and leave from the front and go to the front area of Skull Woods. I'm interested to see if Pod has anything here. At least you have a bow here, so you can at least do, everything but the boss. Not fully unlocked because you don't have Lamp or Fire Rod, but you can do the whole thing.
Hammer and Lamp in Super Bunny.
Oh,
which means that P-Train knows that Flute has to be his logical Death Mountain access, so he knows that Flute has to be in one of a very small number of locations.
Which is for him, should be, he hasn't been to Desert and he hasn't been to Skull Woods, so that's probably the 2 places he's thinking of at the moment.
And Bombos TR, so we don't have to worry about going into that.
And so the medallion we have is the one that we don't need, because we need Quake and Bombo. Sounds about right.
Right. Of course.
Flippers 2.
My Dark Death Mountain is the play here.
Oh, he fell down before he got the last one. That always stinks.
Yeah.
Now if you just get the mirror. Okay.
That would have been quite something if it had been the mirror. So Hammer does give us access to Hera and Ether, but it also gives us Pod, which is a crystal.
Yeah, I expect he'll go towards Pod.
Or
he's going Desert. Desert.
Right. Because as we said, he knows the Flute is in one of a very small number of locations, so might as well dig that out. Unfortunately, Desert isn't. Oh, but he has a fire source. He can finish it now.
Oh, yeah, at least he can beat the dungeon. That's a good point. He can at least beat the dungeon, and it's not as bad. It would have been faster later if he got a Skull Woods sooner and gotten the Flute. That would have been the faster approach. I mean, he doesn't know that. He's not doing the wrong play here, obviously. But that would have worked out better for him. But yeah, this is completely reasonable by him.
Meanwhile, Great Auntie Bob is going to turn in the Smith to get his hook shot. We don't have any runners with both the Flute and the hook shot, though. Someone's going to need to put that all together.
Yeah, I know a lot of runners are like me, and if they're not going to do Smith if they don't have the mirror. So for those who haven't done the Smith, like top specialist right now, well, he could grab the Smith right now after digging game. Maybe he will. If he doesn't, then that's gonna be rough for him. That hook shot's a pretty critical item right now. Without it, you're not getting Hammer. And potentially your only fire source that's available right now.
And P-Train is even going straight for Landmos here, which will pay out really nicely for him because he'll get the second item and won't need to touch right side Desert. And Great Auntie Bob following in P-Train's footsteps, doing the mountain without the Flute, so technically out of logic.
Yeah, but a reasonable choice to do once you get a hook shot. And yeah. I'll see what's here in the back of Desert, because we only have one more item here. It could be a progression, because it is... Well, don't have a flute yet, but minus flute we know is in Skullwood, this is essentially in logic once P-Train picks up that flute that we know is in
There was a
Skullwoods.
rod in Pod Big Chest. I think it was fire. It was really hard for me to see.
Oh, Pod Big Chest?
Yeah, Smirk just picked it
Oh,
up.
it's Ice Rod.
Chat
Ice.
saying ice. Okay, yeah, now on the
That's disappointing. Not the one we want to
on
see
the
right now.
restream I caught it.
Oh, I never thought about doing that. Yeah, I could just do restream. Just arrows on desert. So desert, no progression. Could have been, but nope.
But it's our second crystal. We needed to do it.
Yeah, we need to do it, and now P-Train can probably reason that Skullwoods has the flute. Or something that leads to the flute.
Right. Now, Flippers does put the cape on Bumper Ledge in logic. I don't know if anyone's checked Bumper Ledge yet.
Nah, no one has. Cause, yeah, no one has. Because two of our players haven't even gone to Skullwoods, so therefore the lot less likely to go check bumper check, which you're probably gonna do. You're probably gonna do that bumper check after Skullwoods normally, if you're gonna do it. And also with no mirror to go to Graveyard Ledge, and you already have time to get to Kane's Tomb, you're not super interested in heading in that direction after Skullwoods just to do that one check you can't. That you would honestly prefer not to have be the answer. So.
Oh, and meanwhile, looks like Smirk dug up Quake in Pod as well. So that'll be his Mire access. And Top Specialist is the first to have gotten both the flute and the hookshot.
That's pretty good. So
He's
have
off to the
everything in
mountain.
Logic.
Yeah. Imagine going to the mountain in logic.
Hopefully, Smoke doesn't go into Maya without a fire source. I don't know why they would do that. I would assume that they're gonna pick a different choice. They've already done Pod. If they don't get that hook shot, they might be tempted to go to the Mire area and dive without a fire source.
I mean, Smirk being around here, hopefully he would just go and do Smiths now that he's in the village area.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully he does and he gets that hook shot. If he doesn't, that's might lead him down a bad road. Maybe the only one who doesn't have hook shot yet. Yeah.
Chat telling us that Quake was in Pod Rupee basement.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Interesting that even though P-Train. I was going to say P-Train has very few options for where the flute could be, but the purple chest is one of them. I just realized.
That is true. We have not even seen what's here.
Nothing like doing mirrorless purple chest.
I think this is an interesting choice. When you have Skullwoods, you do purple chest first here. It's not wrong. It's interesting, is what I would say. It's not what I would think most people would pick, but maybe that's why P-Train chose to do it.
Well, it was a bust.
You can also just go to Pod now, very easily, and just knock out Pod. For all the
And with the Link's House start, I think he probably is going to do Pod, even though...
Yeah.
He must know where the flute is because he's exhausted every logical possibility.
And I guess maybe his logic was, I'm gonna go to Skullwoods eventually, so if I just eliminate everything that isn't Skullwoods, so when I go there, anyway, when I have my Fire Rod, I'll pick up that flute if that's where it's at anyway, so I might have to do these other checks. I might have the flute, eliminate them as options. That could have been his thinking. That would actually make sense to me if that was what he was thinking.
Yeah, and I think just in terms of the items we've found, Mire is the next logical play after Pod, but in P-Train's case, he'll need to get the flute first. Oh, Great Auntie Bob is going to do Spike Cave, which is in logic.
Maybe we've not seen this. P-Train did not do it, even though he had the opportunity. Well, it would have been a bit of a pain because he didn't have a mirror, but he could have stayed and quit and gone and done it.
No, you just do it in Dark World like Great Auntie Bob is doing.
I mean, when he was on the east side of the mountain, he...
Right, you could just run past the Lionels.
Oh wait, you're right. Never mind, you're right. I'm crazy.
But in
Good
any
point.
case, it was just a piece of art.
Okay. No, it's still a good check to do, otherwise it becomes isolated, so good thing to do.
Interesting call by P-Train to do Eastern first. I mean, I realize he doesn't have the mirror, but... Oh, I guess this has been in Logic for a while, so as far as he knows, the flute could be in here. We put Eastern out of mind because who
We
the
did.
heck wants to do Pendant Eastern?
We completely put it out of mind. You're right, we completely didn't think about it. I do wonder why he is doing it first. Okay.
I mean... Numerically speaking, the flute's more likely to be here than Skull Woods.
Yeah, by one item. Yeah.
Great Auntie Bob thinking the same thing. Okay, that's all 3 items out of Eastern, and they were all junk.
Yep. Okay, now I think he has to know it's... Okay, now I think he has to know it's Skull. I think? Unless I'm forgetting something else.
The fact that he saved and
Logic.
quit to Sank makes me think he's going to Skull Woods.
Okay, yeah, now it looks like it.
Smirk, meanwhile, has finally picked up the Smith, so he will be getting his hookshot before too long, and be our final runner to reach the mountain and get Hammer and Flippers. And a fire source.
I'm glad all of these players today were smart enough to grab the Smith and get the hookshot, because I would not have been.
You would have just hard last located?
Oh, yeah, I would have been the last one done on this race. It would have been pretty bad. So I learned something new today. Grab that Smith if you don't have a hammer at this point.
And there's P-Train's flute, and he's just getting the heck out of Skull Woods, doesn't want to hunt for the second item.
Completely reasonable. I mean, he knows he can go do all of Pod right now. So that's probably where he wants to go, is go knock out
Absolutely. I
Pod.
mean, honestly, it's reasonably
In my
likely
area,
that the
too.
second item's in the back of Skull Woods behind the fire rod anyway.
He's got Pod to do. He can go do Mire Shed, and he could even dive Mire if he wanted.
Well, he'd have to do Pod first to get Quake.
Oh, yes, Quake. My bad. You're right. I forgot about that. I'm saying, I missed.
But
I
he'll
meant
probably-
to say he knows he might be able to dive Mire. That's what I was trying to say, but that's not what I
Yeah,
said.
he'll probably check Mire, then knowing that it's Quake and he can't get in, he'll go to Pod, he'll get Quake out of Pod, and then he'll go back to Mire.
Yeah, that's what I think he'll do too. To find out, that's why he probably wanted to hunt down that flute, was so that he knew what the medallion in Mire was and what Mire's shed had before he started diving Pod. That way he could better know, because he already knows what his TR medallion is. Now he knows what his Mire medallion is. He knows what his go mode criteria is, and now he just has to start clearing the rest of the dungeons while he grabs his remaining items.
And Top Specialist, our first to check the Ether Tablet. Where was Master Sword that Top didn't get it?
Waterfall Fairy? Am I wrong? No, it wasn't Waterfall Fairy.
No. I thought it was
What
on
was
Dark
that?
Death Mountain. No? Oh, it was Hype Cave. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was the one good item in Hype Cave. It was the sword. Yep.
So he never
Thank
went
you.
all the way to Hype Cave.
Oh, you want
Which is
to
also why taking the Smith on a world tour when you don't have the mirror is a good idea, because all of the other runners went to Hype Cave before turning in the Smith to get the hook shot.
Yep. P-Train will get his Ice Rod, which hopefully shouldn't need, and the Quake. And then I assume probably would then go to Mire after that. And I expect Moko will also probably head over to Mire soon. Did Smoke go to the Meyer area yet?
Okay, so why did Great Auntie Bob just destroy that Wall Master rather than taking a ride on the Wall Master to save the key? Though he got another key out of the big chest anyway. And
Okay.
Top Specialist is doing Hera, is in Logic.
Ah, nope.
Hera Basement, not the answer.
Odd that Top Specialist did this first
Yeah, usually...
before the rest of the dungeon.
Right, he got the big key already.
Yeah, because you would do this last. Because if you finish the dungeon doing the Hera pot, you would know there's no item in there.
Yeah.
That's the normal way you would do this.
Well, and he also got the big key, so even if you don't feel comfortable with Hera pot, you can just climb the vanilla way and you
That's true.
find out the compass is in the big key chest.
You're right. Didn't even need Hera pot.
Oh, interesting. I was thinking P-Train not having the mirror would go straight to Helma King and then do the rest of the dungeon.
Interesting route choice by P-Train. Human Pod.
Oh, he doesn't have the big key yet because the big key is vanilla.
Yeah,
was...
he got his four keys and knows there's something in here.
Yeah, so now he has the big key, so...
Yeah, because there's 6 chests in front, 4 of them always have keys, and the other 2 will have some items, including possibly big key. You know that? Yeah.
I'm a bit puzzled why he went up the right side then when he already had... Usually if you get a small key in Shooter Room and another small key on Arena Ledge, your next stop is the big key chest, and if P-Train had done that, he would have gotten the big key and been able to, you know, just go to Helma King.
Yeah, I guess he just wants to end it with Helma. But yeah, you could do that, and then you could just save and quit after the big chest when it's all done, not to do a death warp back to the front of the dungeon.
So, looks like Hera was garbage unless the green pendant has something. I mean, I think the seed's guiding us along pretty nicely.
This has been a nice seed so far. With the biggest thing was that you do that Smith to get the hook shot. If you got that and you made sure to eventually go to Skullwoods and get that flute, both things that are like reasonably like things to do with the way the limited number of options you had, you were eventually going to be funneled into those 2 choices anyway at a reasonable time. Yeah, the seed's been relatively nice. It can still get ugly, but at the moment it seems like it's not going to be.
And honestly, P-Train not having the mirror is doing some good planning for how to route the back of Pod. He's hammer-yumping so he can get out of Dark Maze, and then he'll finish on Harmless Hellway, which will bring him back around to the arena, and he can just go to Helma King from there.
Start. Yeah, I would have just been lazy and done big chest last and death warped the lazy way. But I think P-Train's got a better plan for this.
Meanwhile,
this is a nice way to route this out.
Smork going back to Pod here. So we should get some convergence between him and P-Train on Helma King.
Yep. Yeah, so they both have thieves and the mountain cleared and have Pod done. The main thing is that P-Train will be up that desert clear.
Right. But pretty similar loadouts for both of them.
Yeah. Just desert clear and that's it. Otherwise, they're in about the same spot. So the main questions now is where is Fire Rod and Bombos and Mirror. We need Mirror, Fire Rod, and Bombos, and then we should be in go mode.
Hopefully we don't need Bombos.
Oh yeah, TR is not required. My bad.
Though,
I want it. Okay, I want it, Drossi.
It could be our entrance to Ice Palace.
It could be. I hate when that happens, but yeah, it could be.
Fire
Yeah,
Rod
you're
could
right,
be
though.
a nice palace.
Fire Rod and Mirror. Everyone's in pod right now, basically.
Oh yeah, chat asking, and I think the answer is no. Has anyone checked
Yeah.
Bumper Ledge?
Well,
Everyone just got out of Skull Woods and didn't go over there.
yeah, they got that flute and left, and didn't go over there
Oh.
probably because they didn't have mirror and had other ways to do
Chat's
things.
saying someone did and it was a piece of heart, okay.
Oh, it was? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Master Critic, I missed that.
Okay, bottle.
Bottle number 3.
So, I would assume P-Train will go to Meyer now, most likely.
And Smirk as well, I would think.
And Smoke, yes, definitely. Although Smoke might choose to do Desert first or after Meyer, one or the other.
Yeah, that's true, they're both 2 items. Though, I feel like you do Mire first because if Mirror's in Mire, then it's much easier to do Desert.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
Featuring remembering that Quake does not harm air creatures, so you gotta get rid of that Murderdactyl, or it will murder you while you're casting Quake.
I guess the one argument though about doing Desert before Meyer is if somehow your Fire Rod was in Desert, then you could speed up Meyer with being able to do Spooky.
Oh no, Smirk. That Murderdactyl's not gonna be happy.
It Desert was trash, but Smoke wouldn't know that. Because I don't believe he's been in Desert yet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he has been.
No, he hasn't, as far as I can tell. But yeah, the seed has funneled all our runners to pod. So our 2 left runners are now in there, presumably going to Mire afterwards. It's the God Mire. Oh, it looks like P-Train is going to Vidi first. The play that got him eliminated from the main tournament this past year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he got an item off Vidi and was like, I don't want the second item in pod, only it turned out to be the Turtle Rock Medallion. I'm sorry, I don't want the second item in Mire. Did I say pod?
I knew what you meant. We knew what you meant. You're good. I think Smoke is doing the exact same play.
I guess it does make sense. If you get an item off of Vidi, then you can save time. Like, if you get an item in Compass Chest, you're then done.
Yeah, you can see the reasoning to it. Oh, they forgot they didn't hit the switch, because they didn't do the whole dungeon first. I hate it when I do that.
Yeah.
I think everyone's done that many times.
And, of course, as you said, we don't have Spooky as an option here either.
Yeah, I can see it, Telethar. That makes sense to me that, yeah, is just doing the, going and being the boss if you get an item. That will definitely shorten your trip. It makes sense. I definitely see other people do it. Especially with how nasty the Maya ride it can get sometimes, trying to avoid cutscene chests and other things. It can be nice to know where one item is if it's on the boss.
Isn't Silver Arrow Vitreous nice?
Super nice. Okay. Decent play. There was an item on the boss, so it will be much faster completion if they want to find the other item. Which I suspect they will, because Ice is not a possibility yet. Neither is Skull Woods, neither is Swamp Palace. And you can't even enter TR as a pendant either. Yeah. Not a lot of options left at this moment.
Now, the question is, do you do both left side checks immediately because you know there's no small key there, and 2 out of 3 of lobby, map chest, and big chest must be small keys?
I know I would... I don't know what the correct answer is. All I know is I'd probably pick the wrong choice. That's what I do know. I would probably do cutscene chest last, most likely. Because I don't like cutscene chest.
Yeah, but it's like, if Compass Chest is a dungeon item, then it's basically 50-50 of whether the last item is in cutscene chest or not.
Oh!
Oh!
TR or Ice? Well, you go Ice here, that's a crystal. I think
You go Ice, it's a crystal. You
Yeah.
do not do Pendant TR as your next play.
Unless you really feel behind and want to take a gamble, but that's kind of crazy when you could just go full clear crystal Ice, yeah.
Yeah, you have Samaria, you're gonna Icebreaker. Ice isn't gonna take that long.
Yeah, definitely. And it's off Holy Logic, so, yep, go do it.
So Smirk right behind P-Train on this to get his Bombos.
However, if Ice Palace doesn't have any progression, then yeah, we're probably going into TR. Although, P-Train hasn't done Spike Cave or Hera. And I think no one's done Hera but Top Specialist, right?
Right.
So some people might decide to go to Hera before TR, which wouldn't be too hard to combine with like Spike Cave and all that for diving TR.
Smirk also following the breadcrumbs to Ice here. He is going to have to go back and do Desert. Luckily for him, Desert's junk. Oh, Top Specialist using bomb strats on Helmet King. You don't often see that in non-Animizer.
No, you don't. You see some people in your speech chat where you throw 2 bombs and then go all hammer, but not full. Are they going to do a hammer? Okay, I thought they were going to do a hammer for the final kill there. I don't know if you can even do that. That would have been...
I mean, you can. It's 4 hammer shots to get through phase 2 of Helmet King, but why do that when it's 1 silver arrow?
Oh, I'm saying I thought he was going to do bomb.
Oh, no.
I was pretty sure that doesn't work. I don't think it does.
We really did have Rule of Fire today.
What was the item?
That was the Fire Rod sitting in the Ice Palace Big Key chest.
At least it was Crystal Ice, not Pendant Ice, so it was on your way. And you got it early on in the dungeon. So, not bad.
So, Fire Rod, hard locked behind Bombos, Bombos, hard locked behind Lamp.
This pretty much makes the rest of the routing for the seed pretty
Where's
straightforward.
Homemade here?
Because, I mean, after this, you'll go beat Skull Woods, which still has 1 more item left. And if that doesn't work out, you're probably going back to Mountain. You might clean up Hera and Spike Cave, then you're probably diving TR.
With how this seed's been, the mirror will just be in Skull Woods, let's face it.
That would be nice for them. It might be. Definitely could be. But regardless, at this point, it's a pretty linear path for pretty much it. A lot of it's at this point, it's kind of a linear path to follow. Like, this goes off the answer, you'll probably end up in TR after some other overworld checks, maybe Hera. Hera's the biggest. The Hera Green Pin is the biggest distracting thing right now. That's about it, though. Or someone wants to do Catfish, they haven't done Catfish yet. But I expect most people would probably just go TR. I know I would. If Skull Woods isn't the answer.
Of course, no one's checked Pet yet.
And the seats overall been pretty nice. The worst thing has been that you had to do the Smith without mirror for the hook shot. But luckily, all the players did it at a reasonable time, and it wasn't too bad. And you kind of had to do it because you ran out of options.
And meanwhile, while P-Train's finishing ice and the other runners are doing stuff we've seen before, time to waste your channel points if you want to predict the mirror location. Though, in terms of stuff that isn't TR or Skull Woods, I think maybe only Saha and Pedestal are things we haven't seen that are available. And looks like Top Specialist is gonna give us that green pendant turn in now.
Oh yeah, let's see what this is. This will really help Top Specialist.
That could really turn things upside down if this is the mirror.
No.
It is not.
Okay, so probably TR. Oh, Skull. Could be Skull Wood still. I know, I keep counting it out. I'm a firm believer in TR at this point. I don't think the seed would be that generous. It would be nice for our runners. But seeing that Bombos...
Given how this seed's been nicely laying out breadcrumbs, I kind of think it is going to be Skull Woods.
I'm betting on TR.
I mean, statistically, that's the most likely.
I'm going with the odds.
At least we don't have to touch Mimic Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, don't touch Mimic Cave.
To answer chat, front of Skull Woods gave us the flute, and we know the second item's in the back.
Chain grabbing the key so you don't have to kill the Gibdo, the other key. Speed things up a little bit. I would assume he would just go straight to Mothula, and if the item's not there, then...
Yeah, because without the mirror, you don't want to really do the bridge chest.
Yeah, and you have to beat Mothula anyway, so this would be the way to do this. Like, no question.
Of course, without the mirror, you can't just mirror to check pet afterwards.
He is killing the Gibdo. He didn't need it. I think he forgot about
really
that.
flush with keys.
Yeah, I got the extra key just for fun. Just for fun. I personally prefer doing the hammer approach over Master Sword, but a lot of people prefer doing Master Sword spins and swings.
Depends what you're
he did it well.
Comfortable with. Yeah, that was quite clean. Didn't hit any of the spikes.
Oh, a sword. That's good. Sword's nice, but not the progression. It's nice though to get.
I mean, we'll have Tempered Silver's Ganon. That should be a nice, clean fight when it comes.
Corner, hook shot, boots. Yeah, it should be a very easy fight. So that's nice. That's a nice get. I expect he'll go clean at Mountain. Probably do maybe Spike Cave Hera before the TR dive.
And for Top Specialist, who never did do Hype Cave, will at least get his Master Sword from Moth.
That's a crazy choice. I wonder if that was intentional or not to skip Hype Cave. It seems like an odd choice to do intentionally. But maybe.
Okay, Great Auntie Bob is now going to do Ice. I have to imagine Top Specialist does Meyer next.
Okay, so P-Train is committed. I would say he's probably going to do Harry here first. Okay, he might just dive into TR. But it looks like he's not going to probably not do Spike Cave, because if he wanted to do Spike Cave, he would have done it first.
Okay, he doesn't have the mirror. Okay, he's just doing TR.
Skipping Hera, skipping Spike Cave.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, he doesn't have the mirror, and Hera's a bit of a hike. And he hasn't checked Ether Tablet. I would have thought he'd do Hera and Ether Tablet.
Yeah, I actually had a race, I think about a week ago, where I was in a pretty similar situation to this, where I had the option to either, like, dive TR, or didn't do, like, Hera and Spike Cave. So I did Hera, didn't get what I needed, and then I dove, I think, Pendant TR for my Gomod item. and it turned out it was actually Spike Cave. So if I had done Spike Cave before TR, it would have been good. So I had this burn me once. So in this situation, I would have done Spike Cave first, and then gone up the mountain. And I might have done TR before Hera. No, I probably wouldn't have. I think I would have checked him first, but maybe he just thinks that, like, this is the play and has more items and can put him way ahead if it's correct and is willing to take that risk, which is not an unreasonable thing to do, but it is risky in his situation, his knowledge at the moment.
And Smirk's getting a bit bullied by Mothula, but did take him down. Where's Top Specialist going? Is he gonna do Purple Chest or something?
Yes, he probably also can do hammer pegs, I'm thinking too. Probably can do that. Yeah, probably has hammer pegs as well.
Chat saying that TR has a bigger check count than doing like Hera plus Ether plus Spike Cave, but it's also the case that most of the items in TR tend to be pretty deep, and indeed we've gotten 2 smalls and a big so far.
Yeah, as I said, I lost the race to basically this almost this exact play, this exact situation, and the answer was in Spike Cave. So like, I've been burned by doing this exact play very recently, and because it just takes so much time that if you're wrong on the gamble, even though it has more items, and it feels like a tempting offer, you can lose by many minutes just by being wrong on this one thing. Of course, from what we know, P-Train should be right, but P-Train doesn't know that. Wait, but were there any other items? Oh, we said Ped was a possibility, but that would still involve beating TR, so that would still make it correct.
But then he'd have to go back and beat Hera too.
Yeah, he would. He had to go check Hera afterwards, which is what he would do next anyway, and then potentially Spike Cave while he's in the area. Which...
Oh yeah, chat's also remarking we could find the powder either here or on Ped,
yeah,
and then it's on Magic Bat.
Could have been done.
You're not gonna fake powder when it's your first sword. That is when Mushroom gives you your first sword directly.
Oh, duh, turn on the Mushroom. I'm crazy, dude. I forgot. I saw Mushroom on the tracker and I forgot. Yeah, you would not do that. That'd be a little crazy. Yeah, good point.
Hey, Top Specialist finally doing Hype Cave.
Dang. He'll get a second sword finally. He'll be disappointed otherwise. It's just typical Hype Cave these days.
And he still needs to do Mire.
Yeah.
P-Train. Oh, was P-Train thinking he'd check Mimic Cave, then realized that Mirror is his go mode and there's no way he can check Mimic Cave?
It definitely feels weird to skip it.
By the way, shout-outs to all our runners here. They're being very nice to have volunteered for the restream today. Please do give them a follow. Oh, Smirk's checking Ped. Couch Cash.
Okay, that's not the answer then. So, it's TR.
Or potentially Powder in TR for...
yeah. But, but TR would still be the answer, just indirectly. Yeah.
There we go. Laser Bridge always has the...
Yeah, overall, this seed was... I'll say mostly linear. Like, there were a couple spots where you could do, you could go do option 1, 2, or 3 and like change up the order a little bit. But once you got the hookshot off of Smith, most of it was like you got funneled into all of the like best choices. So it's all about just kind of doing that, having some clean play, and having some clean routing. And that's why P-Train's ahead at the moment.
So some people got a very nice payout there with betting on Turtle Rock.
Good bet. Yeah, I did tell you, Drossi. It was not going to be in Skullwoods. I don't think it would be. You can't get Flute and Mirror in Skullwoods.
The seed just wasn't going to be that nice. But
No.
chances are everyone's doing Buttersword Silver's Ganon.
Yeah, it should be a nice GT, a nice Ganon's tower. Shouldn't be that bad.
And Top Specialist about to get his Bombos, but then the question is, how much more of the dungeon does he do before he goes to Vidi?
Yeah.
And the answer is he's doing cutscene.
Yeah, and this just goes to show why the play of doing the boss first can save a lot of time, because now Top Specialist is going to do all these extra checks. He's going to do this one, he'll probably do the lobby chest, and then the two on the right side, before he even goes to the boss, and he could have skipped all this, and yeah, it probably would have saved time. It definitely would have saved time in this situation.
Smirk, meanwhile, gambling on purple chest before going to TR, but now he's on his way to TR.
Go mode swamp is always so satisfying to get to do. And not having to have that question of left side swamp or not.
Yeah.
Skip everything.
And you diver down through here, and other than having to hit the dam, it's not even that long a production.
Nah, it's not. It's a quick dungeon. You don't have to check left side or a couple of the other items. Oh, he's going for the zero cycle there. Ah, that's a pretty. Oh, he said okay. That's pretty solid. Okay, pretty good attempts for the item dash zero cycle approach there, and
Yeah.
good second phase.
And that is P-Train's 7th crystal, so if you want to guess how many checks it'll take him to find the Ganon's Tower Big Key, go and put a number in chat. What do you think, Specs?
5.
You're optimistic.
I think 5 is normally a good pick. I feel like lately I've been getting a lot of big keys in my 4-7 checks, so I feel pretty good about it right now. I think I'll get a good big key.
So expecting it in Stalfos room.
Stalfos or Hope room, that area, yeah. But yeah, probably Stalfos room in this case, yeah.
I mean, I guess if P-Train goes to Hope room and gets a small key and continues right, you could. Number 5 would be in Compass room.
True.
Yeah, Smirk's gonna be disappointed by Hera here.
Yeah, I mean, he knew it was a risk when he did it. That's just happens with those types of plays. It was a reasonable play to go for, but you knew when you were doing it that you were doing something that was way out of like the what you had to do. So it was a definite risk.
Can you believe we're still on our first row of hearts, by the way?
That is surprising, yeah, because we really, since the seat's been so linear, we haven't had to do like that many extra checks. It is surprising we haven't gotten more hearts in the process, but I mean, yeah.
I mean, I guess the mirror locked us out of some stuff.
Yeah, the mirror locked us out of a lot. don't think anyone went to Pyramid Fairy.
Well, the mirror locked us out of Pyramid Fairy because Swamp was 5-6.
Exactly, yeah. And then we didn't do much. We did like almost no checks in Swamp. And we didn't do all the checks in TR either. Most of them, but not all of them.
P-Train going left first here.
This is what I would do. I'm a big fan of Dark Magician. I don't know what P-Train does, but I consider Dark Magician the best way to go every time. So I'm a fan.
And meanwhile, Great Auntie Bob also kind of reluctant to do TR, so he's doing stuff like Catfish first.
Understandable. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough decision because TR takes so long that if it's the wrong play, it really hurts. But I mean, also so does Catfish, and Catfish is only one check, so. And at this point, I would probably over than the TR play over the Catfish, but that's 7 checks so far.
But by the way, your check number 5 did give us the first heart on the second row.
Okay, that's almost as good as the big key. I'm sure the runners feel that same way.
Okay, Bob, I think you're out of most of your options besides going back to the mountain.
Yep. Okay, has to grab this key. You need 3 keys here to be able to guarantee skipping this key. So yeah, I need to grab that key. And pull left side here. So we're at 11 right now.
Yep. Halfway through.
Oh, whoops.
Bit of a
hookshot
misfire there.
Yep, I've been there. I haven't done that one, but I've done basically the same thing in other spots. Here on left side, too. Going for the red boomerang strat, okay.
Yeah. Interesting. You don't see red boomerang in Chain Chomp's room very often.
I was talking about P-Train.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at Smirk and they were both using red boomerang strats.
I was just surprised P-Train picked red, because he is blue. To me, if you have blue, I would always choose the blue there instead of the red. But, I mean, both work.
It does have a way of overshooting.
Yeah, you gotta be a little more careful with it. So the blue's easier choice. I personally have used red boomerang a lot for chain chops, but I do think the smaller approaches are usually a little more consistent with practice than the red boomerang. Red boomerang works okay for chain chops.
So
but I do think I get hit sometimes.
Checks 14 through 17 incoming in rando room here. Oh, small key, big key must be in here. There we go, number 16.
Yeah, 16. Yep.
So congratulations to Luna 8 Rose for guessing correctly.
Nice. And he's got 2 keys, so doesn't even need to bother with the mini helmas up here. Should have a very easy climb. The only things that you could really want more would be like powder for heals, half magic would be nice, some bottles. But I mean, really, this is a pretty good set of items going into GT and Ganon. You really can't complain. This is pretty good. I mean, also like red mail would be nice too.
I mean, you could complain, you just wouldn't be very justified.
Exactly. There's plenty of races you have to do where you have less than this. So this is not bad. This is a pretty solid loadout, I mean. And you got Lamp and Fire Rod, and Samara make all the rooms easy, so pretty nice.
P-Train using silvers in that room, showing us just how laggy the silver arrows can be in crowded rooms.
Yeah, as a new player, I just choose not to use it in these rooms. I'm either going to use Fire Rod Or basically, I'm taking the damage.
I mean,
But
some runners,
P-Chain's
some
better
runners
than
will
me.
switch to wooden arrows for these rooms because you can
Yeah.
kill a lot of those enemies with a single wooden arrow shot as well.
Yeah, pretty much every enemy but the red ones. I don't know what they're called, but whatever the red ones are called. They're the only ones that would take 2 hits there.
Zazax?
Zazak, yeah, the red Zazax. They take 2 hits. The rest of them only take a single.
And Smirk almost at Laser Bridge. Nice silver arrow ahead of him to get that mini Helma.
I like that strat. That's a solid strat. About to get the mirror.
Yep, so there's Smirk's Go Mode. Just needs to do Go Mode Swamp. And we also know that going right first in GT is going to be a faster strat than going left first, unless you do Rando Rush, but who does Rando Rush?
Yeah, it's one of the less common approaches. You can do it, but I think that's not what I would recommend. So. Ooh. Okay. I just
P-Train living dangerously.
Yeah, I don't know if he has any refills. He might. Did he get a blue earlier? I can't remember.
It looks like Top Specialist took a death on Cold Stare.
I did see that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The Cold Stare can be brutal. Once it gets a bit chaotic and you get a little tilted, it can lead down a bad path. That's probably that's a time loss.
We know that the other 2 swords are behind the Fire Rod, so while Top Specialist could now go and get them, you're not going to leave ice without beating Cold Stare. Here we are with our agonometry lesson. 2nd level agonometry.
Okay, so P-Train just had a blue. I thought P-Train had a blue. Thank you for confirming, chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, one of the bosses dropped a blue goo.
I was pretty sure, I forget which boss it was, but I'm pretty sure I saw a blue bottle earlier. So I thought so. Yeah, this should be a very safe Ganon fight. Nice Aga too. Not bad. Yeah. First cycle Aga 2 is pretty respectable. That's usually what you want to aim for. It's hard to get a 2 or 3 cycle. 2 cycle will be hard. 3 cycle, you can get it sometimes, but consistently isn't that reasonable. First cycle's very respectable.
Yeah. Any higher tier runners should be able to get a 4 cycle unless they're having a bad day.
Should be a very quick Ganon fight here. Oh, Bonto.
Unless you're clowning a bit on phase 2 like this, but it's still only 6 hits. P-Train's good.
He got 8 hits. He's good.
Bit low on health. Don't take a Ganon hug.
Yeah, could go ahead and blue potion if they wanted to be safe about it, but I mean, they're pretty confident they're not going to get hit at this point. There's no fire bats left, assuming they are quick on the hits. So, it should be safe. I've done this fight many, many, many times. Should get a double here? Oh, nice. Those gonna fall off. Okay. That's always a bit of a...
Yeah.
A lot of newer players who fall off there.
Definitely makes you nervous. But get your GGs in.
Yeah. Yeah, nice job by P-Train. And let's see. We've got Smoke and Top Specialists. No, Smoke's in... people in 3 different dungeons. So, Smoke should be next up. Yeah, because they're on the last dungeon before GT. And Great Anti-Bob's working on getting the mirror. And Top Specialist still has a few dungeons to go.
And we are joined by P-Train, who finished first on Restream and second overall. GG.
GG.
So I guess the big question, what made you decide on Turtle Rock over Hera and, like, Ether Tablet and Spike Cave and the stuff on that side.
Yeah, I was on full tilt for like the last half of this race, if I'm being
You didn't
honest.
look it.
Trust me, yeah, I did. My second Meyer 2 was awful. Just some other things, like I was like, oh yeah, I'm on tilt. Like Mimics and Pod were awful. Just a lot of slop. But no, I found hammer, lamp, and flippers on the mountain, which I thought was just a gift. Just so nice of the game, and I'm not even being sarcastic because in my mind at the time, I'm like, oh yeah, flute is 100% in desert. Don't even need to think about it. Definitely in deserts. So much so that like I had no contingency in my mind that it wasn't there. So when I checked Agina and I was like, oh well, it's not there. I was like, oh well, I guess it must be the purple chest. So I did purple chest, and I'm like, what the heck is left? And I'm like, oh my god, it's Eastern Palace.
Oh my.
I'm like, someone's had this in Sphere 1. They've had it forever. So then I go to Eastern, and after getting the big key, I realized that I haven't touched Skull Woods. And I was so mad. Because, I mean, when you know it's hammer locked, and you know it's flipper locked, and you know it's lamp locked, like, how hard can the dang thing be to find? And yeah, I felt awful. So at that point, I was like, yeah, it's got to be Turtle Rock. Because if it's anything else, I'm just probably in really bad shape. Even, like, to be honest, though, I didn't think Harrow would have been that bad. But, like, I was worried that I was going to be on, like, Pyramid or Catfish. And then I just, lose the game by coming last.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
totally
I guess.
fair.
Well. Oh, right. You mean Pyramid Ledge because it couldn't have been
Pyramid Ledge,
Fairy.
Yeah, I never did Pyramid Ledge, and I was either that or Bumper Ledge. Bumper Ledge was making me nervous, but I was so deep into my own thoughts. I'm like, yeah, if it's there, then I'll just lose.
Yeah, well, it worked out.
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. I think our two biggest questions were like, as Jossie asked, was TR before Hera and Spike Cave, and seeing you do Eastern before Skull. Purple Chest and Desert made some sense. We were surprised to see Eastern before Skull.
Yeah, no, you 100% should have been. Like, it was a terrible play. I should have checked Skull Woods on my way to do Purple Chest. I just completely forgot about it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's doing Purple Chest, just Purple Chest right now? That's a call.
Yeah, no, it's objectively bad. Should not have been done.
But the flip side,
even if it's the correct decision, it's still a bad decision.
the flip side was in skipping Skull Woods and just going south. You were by far the first of the restreamed runners to the hook shot.
Oh yeah, I felt like that kind of made sense, at least given my knowledge. So usually in that situation when I'm mids for Dark World, I don't check Skull Woods, and I usually don't clear Thieves Town. And I just go to Hype Cave with the Smith. Then I deliver the Smith, and at that point, if I haven't found anything, then I clear Skull Woods, and then I do Hammerless Thieves. But I had Blue Mail, I had a lot of health, I would have had to burn a fairy. And just when I did, and also I found 3 items in the front. So I was like, let's just go ahead and do Thieves Town, and we'll just shake it up a little bit. And then the shovel in Blind's house just kind of made running the Smith back an easy task. You just check shovel on the way and turn in Smith, and then I had Hookshot, and I was like, oh, I'm off to the races. And, I got all the info on Dark Death Mountain that I just
you got Lamp.
Did me more harm than good.
Well, I mean, Lamp told you a lot about Flute. You just forgot the one other possibility.
Yeah. So, but no, it's kind of sad too, because like these are actually like my favorite kinds of seeds. Where like as long as you follow the logic, you can suss out a lot about the seed, and which I did. Just I forgot about probably one of the easiest locations to check.
Yeah, I think if you just hadn't dived Eastern, then your time would have been the biggest difference in your time, even if you didn't get the Skull, with Purple Chest. I would have done it. But yeah, not doing Skull initially makes a lot of sense because I do the same thing when I have Titan mitts. It's like you can quickly go into Thieves Town and Village of Outcasts and save it for later. So that all makes sense. But yeah, the biggest calls were like doing that Smith to get the hook shot. If you skip that, you would have been in a bad spot, and then going to TR as soon as you did, versus going and doing some other overworld checks that were one-offs beforehand.
Yeah, if I just don't forget about Skull Woods, I probably do a lot better on this seed. Just because, I mean, everything else I felt like I made like reasonable decisions on, but there's no way I'd touch Eastern if I remember Skull Woods and do that before Purple Chest. I don't even do Purple Chest in that scenario. So you save the time of, fluteless, mirrorless Purple Chest, and then you also save the entire Eastern dip and walking there.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, you were second by a minute and a half, so skip Purple Chest and Eastern, and you're first by several minutes.
yeah.
Yep.
But I mean that is what it is. I haven't been playing Rando a whole lot lately, so I'm trying to play a little bit, just kind of get my Rando sense back, and yeah, this is the like I titled my stream "Washed Up Gameplay," and then you watch how I route this seed, and yeah, it was bad.
I wish my washed up play looked like that. So, it looked pretty good overall to us. So, minus the Eastern thing, it looked great overall, and most of what you did made sense, and it worked out.
Yeah, but it was a good seed though. It was a good seed. Enjoyed running it. I appreciate the restream, and I think I'm about to head out and let y'all finish commentating on these other wonderful runners.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining us, and GG again.
Appreciate it. Catch y'all later.
So, GG's again to P-Train. Again, please give him and the other runners a follow, as we now see Smirk in the final room of the gauntlet while we've been talking. And just to catch you up on what's going on off the restream, Kaede Rukawa finished first at 122.09, as we said, about a minute and a half ahead of P-Train. Shire in third at 126.15, Arya Stark in fourth at 131.25, and that's all we've got for finishers so far. So Smirk still has a shot at fifth, which, with there being 12 runners total, that would put him in the top half.
Yeah, definitely a good position to be. This will place really well in this race. Absolutely.
And Great Auntie Bob also went right first in GT, so this will work out well for him with routing.
Nice.
And Top Specialist, unfortunately, just
in Eastern
is doing everything but TR.
Dang. Odd call when this was like a Sphere 1 thing you could go do. Because you got the boat. That's like that's your second item you got in the game. This has been at least out of logic available for a very long time, but in logic for a very long time. So it'd be less likely that your Goma item would be in
Yeah.
here, going by like the Sphere logic of the randomizer.
Yeah, you don't expect your Go mode to be in Sphere 1. I mean, occasionally it is. There are always those weird occasions, but for the most part...
Yeah, especially a major progression item like Mirror that would give you a lot more checks, you wouldn't expect it. With something like Ice Rod or some Medallion, things are a little less clear in their progression, it'd be more likely. Okay, now Top Specialist has head up the mountain. Maybe they'll head to TR, because they've already done Hera, so this is probably the TR play now.
I don't think he has anything else left.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Smork on the Aga fight. As Great Auntie Bob finds his big key and starts the climb. Still no one in fifth. Smirks for the taking, possibly.
Yeah, might be. Very good shot at it. Because this should be a quick fight, assuming no like falls or big oopsies.
I feel like we need to be quiet because Smirk's volume is down.
We're just really concentrating on this Ganon fight. It's really intense.
Yeah, but that's phase 3 already.
Yeah, he didn't get the double here, but it was kind of he was in an awkward spot to go get that double.
It did get the torch glitch.
That'll help things out. Okay, gonna go for the double. Yeah, was torch went out. Well, no, actually, the issue was it was quite fast enough. Getting to the side of Ganon. Because if Ganon's so blue, it doesn't matter if the torch goes out.
And get your GGs in for Smirk JD.
Let's see, are they gonna get? They're gonna get. They didn't quite get 5th. Coin Chaser finish at 1:35:39, 11 seconds before them.
Yeah, that was a fanfare snipe. You always hate to see that if you're the one who gets sniped. Like, while Smirk was listening to the fanfare with his sword raised, he saw Coin Chaser finish 5th, but still good for 6th.
Yeah,
still top half.
Yep, so technically top half out of 12 people with a time of 1:35:50. Still very respectable, very good.
Yeah, especially in a seed that required so much running around and a near full clear of Pendant TR. See if he wants to talk to us. We are joined by our second place restream finisher, Smirk. GG.
Thank you. Thanks for the GGs. Oh man, that stupid mirror.
Yeah. Smirk has disappointed his mentors 69 times. We still love him, though.
Nice.
No, there was actually a Smirk please moment earlier, which made me think of that.
Oh, which one was it?
It was relatively early on, I can't remember.
Oh. Maybe it was when I got the flute in Skull and was like, later.
Oh yeah, right, the fact that you immediately went to Meyer area rather than doing, like, TR.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, hold on. TR?
You mean Thieves?
TT, sorry.
Oh, I was like,
something beginning with a T.
Yeah.
Thieves. Yeah.
Thieves Town. Yeah, I should have done, like, the regular path. So, I mean, I was already in the Dark World, so that just cost me time. Like, I had to do it anyway, so...
And then you could have comboed the Smith and activating the flute.
Yep, absolutely.
But no one actually did that I saw.
No? Oh, man. And I did it. I had a perfect opportunity because I got the mitts before getting to CAC. So, like, I got there relatively early, I think. So I could have done that, gotten the flute, gone and grabbed the smiths, and then, yeah, would have changed a lot. But that mirror, it would have been, like, I felt TR the entire time, but, like, I went up there and I'm like, there's no way I skip Hera, right? Like, and without the mirror, like, you do Hera first, otherwise you have to climb all the way again. So I was like, all right, I'll go check the Ether Tablet and do Tower of Hera first, and then go to Turtle Rock. But I don't know, maybe I should have just stuck with the gut feeling.
It seemed the better play, all things considered.
Right, and if it were there, right, that's a lot faster than a full Turtle Rock dive. I mean, with Ice Rod and everything, it's like, oh.
But the seed really wanted you to follow that fire rod.
Yeah, and I do sphere tracking, and that was like the big progression there. Like, so on my tracker, you can see like, okay, so Dark World Access led to the flute, basically, which led to the Bombos Medallion at some point, and then the fire rod. And I was like, okay, well, that's the longest progression line. It's probably something like that. But, oh well.
Yeah, just going to cut in for a bit because Great Antibob is now on Phase 3 of Ganon, so we should watch him get his Phase 4 and hopefully finish very shortly.
Where did Top Specialist just die at?
I don't know, but you're not gonna do Mimic Cave without that mirror.
I cannot see where they just died.
Oh, Great Antibob could have gotten a double there. I don't know if he was just momentarily dazed or what, but he gets Ganon down.
Did he skip the big key? Did he like steal the key, not get big key?
No, he opened the big chest.
Then what's he doing? Why is he going this way? No magic?
No magic.
That's what it is.
But GG's to Great Antibob, third on our restream, 8th overall, 140.29. Just ahead of him was Joss at 139.54. So, Smirk, I was going to say, how did you like the rule of fire really coming into play?
I mean, it was what, like lamp for Bombos and Bombos for Fire Rod or something? Oh,
yep,
gosh.
hard required for both.
Big time. Big time rule of fire on this seed. And I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but basically as soon as I got Bombos, I like dashed to Ice Palace. I was like, yeah, it's that.
I mean, at that point, like, given the relatively small number of Crystal Dungeons, it was the play everyone did after getting out of Mire.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but there was a few overworld things you could do still, but not really. Oh man, curious to see the CRs that everybody has. I mean, with mirror being go mode, I mean that saves a lot of mirror checks, you know. So there's that.
You actually catch P-Train's CR.
And neither. I don't think it was too high because you were also able to go mode Swamp. You didn't have to do the final 2 checks of TR. You were able to skip out on a lot of Ganons.
Yeah, that's true.
And the mirror checks, as you said.
Yeah, very good point. So what do you guys think? Like 155, 160?
Oh, this is interesting. P-Train didn't actually record his broadcast. I guess I'll have to look back through the VOD of the restream.
Oh, whoops.
Anyway, we're joined by our third place finisher, Great Antibob. GG.
GG's, Great Antibob.
Thank you.
So what did you think? You did put together the Smith's chain for hookshot relatively quickly.
Was that where was I? I completely forgot.
Smith.
Yeah, mirrorless Smiths, don't you love it?
Or hookshot.
Yeah, that led me on a little bit of a goose chase, I guess, with an early mountain.
Yeah. Okay, so P-Train's collection rate was 144.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
We'll see Smirks in a moment here. Bob, what do you think yours was?
I'd be surprised if it was anything less than 160.
You think that high?
I guess there's a fair amount of GT left.
Did you do Eastern?
Up to the big chest.
Okay, so you did do most, but then again, so did most people. Smirks is 152 there.
152. Yeah, that sounds about right with all the skipping all the mirrors, and there's a lot of skippable like heart pieces and things like that.
Also true.
Oh, it looks like Top Specialist has unfortunately noped out of TR without doing Laser Bridge.
Yeah,
thought I saw him grab the mirror.
Oh, did he? Oh, maybe. Okay. It's just
Yeah.
not marked on his tracker.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They went and grabbed the magic.
Okay.
And then
He's got that
Okay.
force
they went
board
and
too.
grabbed it. Yeah, they did.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Got
laggy tracker. Shoutouts, by the way, to our trackers, Kid Your Face, or KIF for short, and Neural Light Shine.
Yeah, yes, thank you very much. Makes our lives a lot easier.
And shout outs to you guys, Mr. Drossi and Specky Specs, for doing commentating. Thank you guys so much for doing this and maintaining the speed gaming stuff. It's always really fun. So
Yeah, thanks
Yes.
for putting on a good race.
Yeah, so Anti-Bob, any more thoughts from your end?
Not a lot. I really ought to learn that blind script at some point.
Yeah, it does help. At least the first two phases. I mean, the third phase, at least you had Cane of Burna at that point, so you don't need to worry about it so much.
Yeah, it's
The,
usually not a problem. I just face tanked him, so.
Or that.
The Link to the Past speedrun wiki, not the random one, but the regular one, has a whole document that tells you how to do it with like GIF pictures. It's pretty good. That's how I learned it. Makes it pretty easy if you want to learn it.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, there's plenty of resources out there. I just need to buckle down and actually practice for a change.
I feel the same way. This is all. It means it's also never ending. There's always like 10 more things to practice, and then 10 more things, and then 10 more things. Yeah.
So what, was that a logic? What is it? Logical double, triple dip of the mountain?
let's see. The first time, no, I think it's just a triple, right?
Triple.
Because you go up there for hammer, you have to go back up to TR for mirror, and then you have to go back up for GT. So
Yep.
minimum is 3.
Always fun, right?
That sounds about standard. 3. That seems typical. Not quite. I try and go for the faster diving setup right there, the no splash setup. But they're doing without sword. The sword buffers. Even harder to do it. Okay, now are they doing the splash setup now?
Yeah, top specialist is trying for diver down, doesn't seem to get it, giving up going around.
I know also, what was his name? Was it Radon who came up with some alternatives to doing it? Oh, none of them seem all that much easier to me. I forget what they were. He came up with like a video a few months ago. Maybe Top Specialist was trying to do one of those? Because he wasn't doing the normal sword buffer approach you'd see for that strat that I think he was going for.
That I don't know. Smirk or Anti-Bob, do you know about any alternative diver down methods?
I just know there's like 2 of them you can do with the Cane of Samaria. There's like 2 or 3 that you can do with Cane of Samaria, and then there's like the bomb one. Those are the only ones I know of.
I love the runners who get super swaggy and then grab the Samaria block and jump into the water with it.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch.
It looks cool. I think they also save a little bit of time because they don't have to grab the heart pot afterwards to get out of the spin. So it saves this bit of time too. And looks swag.
And there you go, Bob, 155. So really not that different from Smirk.
Not just different routing decisions, mostly, and execution stuff.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably didn't route the way I did.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, I mean, I grabbed the flute in Skull Woods and chased it all over the place. Then when I went back to the Dark World, I did a kern jump to pod. All of that before Thieves Town, so
Yeah, so you were the only one to double dip pod, I'm pretty sure.
probably yeah.
Was funny with Hammer and Mirror being, Hammer and Flippers being right near each other. So one way or the other, you unlock these Dark World.
Yeah. And I was hoping so much that Flippers were up there on the mountain when I finally made it up there, but that Hammer was not, and that Hammer was actually in Mire, because I think Quake was in Pod. I can't remember for sure, but
It
I
was.
think, yeah, so I was like, oh man, if Hammer is behind this Quake and Mire, then this Kern jump was the play, but it wasn't, so.
Well, you know, when I saw the
least-
hammer and the lamp, I had that sinking feeling like, oh, that's only like 4 places that flute could be then.
Yeah, at least Smirk, you didn't chase into Mire without a fire source. That would have been bad.
That would have been really bad, yep.
I was afraid you were going to do that for a little bit.
I would have looked at Bombos for forever.
Oh, that's right. Bombo's locking the fire.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was, I mean, Lamp was up there too, but if it was like, you know, just Flippers and no Hammer or Lamp, then like I would have ended up going to Mire for sure without the fire source and hoping for Hammer there, but yeah, could have been bad. Could have been even worse.
But yeah, we have Top Specialist finally making his way up the mountain for the nth time, this time going into GT.
Speaking of GT, I almost never do the stupid compass room, but I was like, well, maybe there's half magic over there. Let's do the compass room.
You never do Compass Room?
No, I usually do Hope Left. I like doing Hope Left, unless I'm like
Even
really
with a small key.
even with the small key, unless I'm sure on like, unless I'm like Master Sword or something like that. If I'm on Master Sword, Silverless especially, then I'll start Compass Room.
How often would you see that? Out of curiosity, because I always Dark Magician because it's a very safe route. How often would you see like that? No compass room approach, you know, hope the left side like benefits you versus like, I'll say, does the opposite and burns you.
What was that?
I'm basically trying to ask is how often does that approach of skipping compass room tend to help you out versus burn you from your experience?
So it's it's like a different approach for me based on what kind of game I'm playing. So like if I'm playing in a group game like this, then I just do my path because it's just what it is. But like if it's a 1v1, then it's a little different. Like let's say you feel like you've done really well on a seed, like you know, God routed or close to it. Well, then I would say it pays off to do something like Dark Magician because it's the safest route. At the very worst, you lose the least amount of time, as opposed to doing something like Hope Left, where if it is in Compass Room, then you clear the entire left side of GT without, you know, before finally getting to it. So you lose a lot of time that way. Or if you do like full right, for example, you know, same thing. If it's over on the left side, you lose a lot of time. So the safest one is Dark Magician. So if you're feeling like you're doing well in a 1v1, I think that's the way to go.
Real quick, so, Top Specialist did not grab that key on the right side. He has 0 keys, and then grab that key on the right side.
Yeah,
If
there's a key here and there's the one under the pot, but he might.
Normally, you wouldn't want to skip that key. That, if depending on key layout, from his knowledge, that could be bad. He might.
Yeah,
I think he'll be okay because you guys had 2 keys going up top, so that means he has.
Yeah.
He'll have a key to spare, but he doesn't know that. So that
He'll have
way,
the key in he'll have the key in render room at least.
Yeah,
so
as
he'll
long
be
as
okay.
that extra chest in rando room.
But sorry, Smoke, what were you saying again?
No, that was basically it as far as like the route for GT. That's my thoughts on it. I'm not saying it's like like its fact or anything like that, but
You. So that makes sense to me. So you do a dark magician type route some of the time. I thought you were saying like you always do hope left and that's that. But yeah, if you mix it up sometimes that would make sense to me. I'm someone who's always just like, I'm never gonna put any bets into like changing it on GT.
yeah.
I figure if I'm that far behind, I've already lost, and I don't want to make it worse.
Yeah, and you know, for the most part, you're right. But like, you know, a lot of times you see these races, especially 1v1s, where you win or lose by like a couple minutes. So making those GT decisions can really like make a difference in your race.
You're totally right. If that's the situation you're in, it can absolutely swing the race in your favor sometimes. You're totally right. That's right. I was actually just curious to get your opinion, not judging you. More curious.
No worries. You can judge me if you want to, though. That's fine.
I'm just curious to see people's different opinions on GT riding. Because you think GT riding, most people would like have standard opinions on it, but you see a lot of diversity. Even though you feel like statistically you'd be very clear, like in the situation you do this, situation you do that, you still often don't see it done that way, even though you feel like it would be that way.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it is rando, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's a random game. So, like, I feel like one thing to avoid doing is always doing something. So, like, you know, there are things that you like to do and things that you probably want to do more often than not. But to always do something the exact same way every time,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
Okay, yeah, I was worried the top specialist might not get that small key.
I thought they were
with no keys.
I thought they were about to mirror. I think they realized at the last moment, like, oh wait, I need a key. I think they checked. It looked like they did.
It
They
looked like
realized it.
good thing he grabbed it, because then now all he has to do is grab the mini helmet key and he's fine.
Yeah. Having some trouble with this room. I know he probably didn't want to take any damage in that room, so that's why he took the route, but still issue with the switches. Switches can be a pain if you take that route to avoid taking damage on the spikes.
Had a little side chat with Coin Chaser.
Who fanfare sniped you?
Yeah, he sniped me by 21 seconds, and
11 seconds.
And Coin Chaser is one of those that I've never like beaten before. Like every race we've played, I've just never beaten him before. So like this was it. I was like, oh my God, so close, and then I saw him finish 21 seconds. I was like, man, if I had just like done things just a little bit better. So that was funny.
Ah, well, so it goes. You were still in the top half.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure like there are plenty of seeds where I could beat him. It's just it happens to be where in every race I've played with him in it, I've never beaten him. But like, for example, Kaede Rukawa, he got first place today. But I beat him in the cross keys, the Cas Boots cross keys on the 1v1. So he was another person that until then I had never beaten before. So anything can happen. He crushed this seed, speaking of. 122.09, that's crazy.
I mean, we were discussing with P-Train when he was in here that when he had narrowed down the flute location, if he hadn't started chasing Purple Chest and Eastern before going to Skull Woods, he probably would have gotten like 120 or something.
Oh, dang. Well, and P-Train is just like extremely fast, so like... So he did Eastern?
Yeah, he really last located Skull Woods for the flute.
Dang, okay. So wait, so what did that end up doing for him? Like...
Just meant that he did, like, after Pod, he did stuff like Purple. He then did Desert, which is fine, that was a crystal, but then he did Purple Chest and Eastern before.
No, he did that before Pod. He waited to do Pod until after he got the flute from Skull Woods.
Oh, right, because Pod was out of logic and he knew.
Yeah,
the hammer is locked by the flute too.
Yeah, he
Right.
wanted to get that flute before he started diving into Pod. So that way he could go to the Mire area and know his medallion was it, if I recall.
Oh, right, yes. So then he knew when he got Quake that it was what he needed for Mire.
Yeah, with some of the bottlenecking like that occurred in this seed, like I can't see like the end of the seed being that much different for most people. Like, I mean, it's kind of pick a pendant, but like, you know, you have like Turtle Rock and Hera up on the mountain versus Eastern. So it's like if you waited to the pick a pendant moment, then that's all you got left.
Yeah, I'd say you're right. The biggest decision was really at the end with when did you go into TR to get that mirror? Because you could have done more things sooner, and if you had done more skips, you may not have gone there as soon. Otherwise, if you got that hookshot off Smith, and most of you, and pretty much all 4 of you got it, you know, at a reasonable time, most of the rest of the seed, like, kind of just flowed nicely, and it led you step by step.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I actually have to get going here. So thank you once again, Jossie Specky Specs, for doing comms today. And thanks to the trackers. It's Keith and Mira. Is that who was tracking?
Correct.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And thanks to SG for running these daily races. It's always really fun to do. So I'll see you guys around. GG's again to everybody.
GG Smirk, thanks again for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
We got top specialist here in Aga 2. Got 1 hit on that first one. Low on health. Oh yeah, we're down to 1.5. I think he's taken 1 more hit. Oh, he's got 2 blue potions. Okay. Yeah, they'll be fine. And they got soldiers.
Okay, Aga 2 down, just got a Buttersword Silver Ganon fight.
Mm-hmm. And they still have 1 blue potion, so really, I mean, falling off is the only danger here. You shouldn't have any issues with taking damage or having to watch your magic meter. You can even use Borna if you want.
Yeah, and that should be enough hits too.
Yeah,
He's doing
sure,
a couple
you
more
can
just to
try.
be safe, but that's phase 3 now.
Yeah.
Just don't take a Ganon hug.
I think he lived 1, because there's, what, 8 hearts of damage on green mail, so...
It's
Four right
6
now?
on blue. Some of the more advanced bosses don't go by
Ah.
factor of 2 every time.
Nope, that makes sense. That is good to know.
Yeah, so Ganon hugs go 8-6-4, and the fire bats go 4-3-2. Cold stare puffs also go 4-3-2. So yeah,
Double here? Maybe get the double.
there we go. Get your GG's in for top specialist who stuck it out here. Finishes 4th on the restream, 11th overall, with an official race time of 2:03:27. And we're joined by top specialist, GG.
Yeah.
You're muted.
GG.
Oh,
There we go.
That was unfortunate choice of
You
dungeon.
did not want to do TR.
No, I was saving it for last. I apparently that bit me in the butt.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, it was kind of a. You really want to follow the bombos after you get it.
I mean, I thought I was doing okay up to that point till I last location the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to do Pendant TR, let alone go all the way to Laser Bridge.
Well, by the time I got up to TR, I was thinking it was going to be a ped seed.
Yeah, fortunately, Smirk checked Ped for us, so we knew that was out. Because we were wondering too until then.
Yeah, now I don't really care what's on ped.
Couch Cash.
Oh. But talk about 100% of the game up to that point, that was annoying.
Well, I'll be interested to see what your collection rate is. I mean, you still got to Go Mode Swamp.
Yeah, I need to practice my... somebody offered to teach me a better way to do Diver Down, but because I kept messing it up, so I'm going to have to look into that.
Which approach were you trying to do? Were you trying to do the one where you normally use sword buffers or a different approach?
I don't do any buffers. Just like with Icebreaker, I don't do buffers. I'm just like tap the D-pad slightly.
Yeah, you could do that. I'd say if you want to do that, the splash method is definitely the easier way to go. Most people do. And what you have to do for the bomb is, if you have to do the bomb diver down anyway, you have to do basically the same approach with the splash method. So, if you know the splash method for Samaria, it's basically the same setup with the bomb. So I know where to put the bomb at. So it makes it really easy to have the same like muscle memory if you learn it that way for both tricks.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that because that's cost me time before, and it did as well this time. So I just ended up going around. Very interesting seed though. Some early gamble playing off for the sword. And I imagine I was probably the first person to get that at least, because nobody's going to turn that in right away, I didn't think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Though, speaking of swords, you did have a bit of an aversion to Hype Cave.
Yeah, so I forgot about Hype Cave, if I'm being honest.
That's what we were
That would
guessing.
do it.
Because, yeah, by the time I got to Hype Cave, I'm like, oh, a sword. Oh, wait, somebody's... Like, I could have been here forever ago. I didn't even think about it. I can fast forward the credits a little bit so people could see the...
You're good.
Don't mind me, I was just taking it all in.
Well, if you're wondering, since P-Train ended his stream a while ago, his collection rate was 144, so a little lower than Smirk and Anti-Bob, not a huge amount lower.
I imagine mine will be close to 180 or something.
You've probably overestimated. Anti-Bob said there was no way his was going to be under 160.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, yeah, it's 166.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I think you're the only one. No, Great Anti-Bob also did Hera. But, yeah, because he did Hera, and what was the other place you went to?
Eastern up through the big chest, so that's another 3.
Yep, that'd also be it. Thank you, Anti-Bob. Thank you.
Yeah, but I guess go mode swamp, and that'll skip a lot of checks.
Yeah, late
All those mirror checks too.
Not much in GT had to be done. Skip the last few checks in TR, and yeah, go mode swamp.
Yeah, once I got the mirror, and then when I got the mirror and I went to Light World swamp, or the swamp area, and I'm thinking I'm in the Dark World trying to go into the swamp, and I'm like, why isn't the mirror working? And it's just, I completely, like, you hadn't had the mirror the whole seat, and I completely forgot, like, oh right, you gotta be in the Dark World to use the mirror. This is not inverted. So.
But tell me, you also like the early boots? Because I don't know about this whole early boots thing.
I do like early boots. I don't know too many runners who don't like early boots.
I don't mind it if I get hook shot early instead, because I think like hook shot strats can be fun. But if I have no movement items, then yeah, I'm pretty unhappy.
But anyways, thanks you guys for having me on and doing all this. I really appreciate it. And hopefully it was fun to watch.
Yeah, thank you for the race. Thanks for
Thank
allowing
you.
us to restream.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. GG again to our runners. Once again, give them follow. And our trackers, Kid Your Face and Near a Light Shine. But I think that's going to do it here. We do have these races daily, so let's get the information for that up.
And tomorrow is the Open 6-6, right?
Yep, we're
Fast
Open
Ganon.
6-6 Fast Ganon, yeah. Trying to do a little bit of a faster mode to welcome in the weekend. And that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Channel TBD, but keep your eyes on the schedule that we just put in there. I don't know why it says ES Restream.
I think I'm pretty sure I'm joining that one tomorrow. I'll waste on that one. And then there's Open Weekly at 5:30 on Sunday. That's happens every Sunday.
Yeah, that's a good one. We often get like 25 to 30 people for it.
Yeah, being on a Sunday, yeah. That's always a good one.
Yeah, and always the same mode and always the same time.
Yeah. Makes it easy to remember to sign up and be there.
Yeah, but I think that's it. Specs, I'm really glad we got to do these comms together.
Yeah, I hope people didn't mind struggling to my first time commentating to, improve in the future and as a gamer knowledge get better at the game. So I appreciate you guys listening to me blabber on today.
It was a lot of fun. Hopefully the first of many times.
I hope the same. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
But with that, I think we'll wrap here. There's amazingly there hasn't been anything on speed gaming all day, and this is the only thing. So check the speed gaming calendar. Give speed gaming and speed gaming 2 through 7 a follow. And we hope to. Yeah.
I did not know there was a 7.
When
That's
it gets
news to
busy,
me.
we've used 7. Yeah. Next time we have a busy season, it'll be dug out on weekends. But yeah, we do have some good stuff. I like the Super Mario 2 tournament that's been going on. There'll be some runs of that tomorrow and Saturday, for instance. I'm just throwing that in there to give it a plug. But yeah, keep your eyes on the schedule, and we hope to see you around.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and yep, it was a good time.